Hey guys, it's AzMusic.org. I'm Vanessa Joy. Thanks for joining us again. We're here with the Phosphenes. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm David. I'm the guitarist and backing vocals.
I'm Jim Wiskersion on lead vocals and guitar as well.
Bernie, drums.
And Bill, bass and backing vocals.
Right on. Thanks for being here, you guys. Let's get into it. Phosphenes. You know, I usually don't ask bands why they name themselves whatever they name themselves, but Phosphenes, for those of our listeners and viewers that don't know, explain.
Want to do it? You came up with it.
Yeah.
I was looking through a book called The Book of Lists, and I came across 16 names of things that you never knew had names. And one of them was the Phosphenes, which basically is after you get your picture taken or you stare at a bright light, your eyes close, and you still see those dots of lights. Those are called Phosphenes, and I thought that that was nondescript version of, without pigeonholing us with our name as to a style of music before we started writing music. I just kind of always knew I wanted to have a project named the Phosphenes.
Well, and it's kind of cool because it's seeing light in the eye without light actually passing through the eye, and it's kind of psychedelic.
Right.
In that sense, you know, it's a phenomenon that happens.
Right.
You know, sometimes when you take psychedelic drugs. You guys acid heads?
Not me.
No.
Not anymore.
No.
You know,
Good story.
you guys really do have a very throwback '90s vibe, and it's upbeat, it's fun. So, what was that factored into your sound, or do you think that it's just because you were a band in the '90s?
I think a lot of the influences that we both had as writers in the band, David and I were the primary writers from the get-go. And I think just a lot of our influences musically was what was driving us, and bands like REM and was a big influence for me in my writing style.
Actually, I think anytime you came over, you always sounded like whatever you had just heard.
Right.
You were able to really pick up on the sound of the times. That was always his gift.
And I also think that the bands that we were playing with and the scene at that time, like the Jim Blossoms, Dead Hot Workshop, bands like Spinning Jenny, all these bands, influenced our sound as well, because these were bands that we probably idolized and enjoyed playing with on stage as well. And so I'm sure that was an influencing factor as well.
Definitely, the '90s Tempe sound is huge, and for you guys to still be a part of that and bringing it to people who might not have heard it before, that's huge. Where are you guys from?
Originally New York,
Okay.
and most of our life spent here. I grew up in Scottsdale
Okay.
and hung out at Tempe, live in Tempe. So,
Take us back to that time in Tempe in the '90s.
oh, Mill Avenue was amazing in the 90s. The music scene was much better then for rock bands. You go down Mill now, and right now you have DJs going and house music, and it's just completely different. But going down the 90s back then, every bar had a live band, and you could just see 10 bands in one night. You had Etzel's Attic, you had Tui's, you had all these other clubs.
Long
And
Longs.
Long Wongs.
Of course.
And it was great. It was just like Austin is now. you
Yeah.
know? And so it's terrible what's happened to that
Corporate
area.
America took over.
Right. And so the 90s Tempe,
The P.F. Changs of the world.
yeah, Mill Avenue will never be the same, in my opinion. It was an awesome place to go. And downtown Phoenix wasn't even a thing that much, you know, and that's why people would go to Mill Avenue and to see the music scene and whatnot.
So do you think that we could ever recapture that feeling here in Tempe?
Only, well, again, Jim just said it, corporate America, they're buying, you know, you got all these big corporate businesses and townhouses going up and things like that. So they've tried, but it's not working right now.
I think-
So, and club owner and the younger people like to listen to that, different music, like I said, like DJs and house music. And so bars that are along Mill do not want bands. They're thinking of money and business. And so the younger crowd, the 22-year-olds, 25-year-olds that hang out on Mill Avenue, like that type of music. The bar owner was not going to put in a band. It's all about money and business, as not as much as art and music.
Exactly, and it's a sad truth. And you guys really do come with a lot of experience. You're one of the few bands that have been gigging for so long that it's still gigging. Still, people are coming out to see your shows. What's been that driving force behind Phosphenes?
Our music.
Because we
100% our
we
music.
started out as a 100% original material band, and that was the way for probably the first 15 years. And then started introducing some cover songs, just to play various gigs out.
Yeah, cover songs. I mean, it's kind of how you get an audience to kind of trust you,
Right.
and to trust you to go on that ride with you.
Yeah, we all love what we do. I mean, music is in our hearts.
But I'm
And-
still addicted to
yeah.
writing,
Yeah, and so we love it, and music's in our hearts, so that's what's driving our band to stay together. I mean, we're all in our late 40s or early 50s, and we love it. If we didn't love it, we wouldn't be doing it. So we don't think of it as the business point of view. We think of it as we love to get in there and write songs and play, and
That self-expression that you get out. By
Yeah,
writing
and
material.
you were.
I was just gonna say, I think a lot of the songs that we had originally written, back in the '90s, I think they were so catchy, and I was so proud of them that I think a big part to our continued desire to want to play these songs is because they are so good, and every time that we play them kind of like like we just wrote them last week, and so we're still enthusiastic. Every time we play it, it's kind of like the first time we're playing it, because it's got to have that type of emotion.
Well, and
And for
listen.
many people, it is the first time they've
and
ever
when
heard
you
it.
when you came and seen us at the Tempe Tavern, you left humming some of our songs.
No,
And
definitely,
a lot
they're
of them-
timeless.
Right. So a lot of the songs that you hear the bands, you leave, they were a great drummer, great guitar player, whatever, but you don't remember the song. You leave a Phosphenes show, you're humming at least 2 or 3 of our
Yeah,
songs.
definitely,
Okay?
I can vouch for that.
Okay.
Definitely. And like I said, you are a band with a lot of experience. What are some of the hurdles that you've had to go through to still continue to be a band?
Life.
Yeah.
Life. Marriage.
Kids.
Divorce.
Work. Divorce. But we're all good friends. He's my brother.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Jim, I've
hard to
known
get rid of those
Jim,
brothers.
and Jim, I've known for almost
20
30
plus
20
years,
yeah,
yeah.
over.
This is almost the original lineup, except
except
for,
for
I'm the new guy.
you're
which
the new
is
kid on the
the
block.
glue to everything. This guy's the glue to everything.
So what, you've only been in the band 10 years then?
No, I've only, how has it been? About a year.
About a year,
Yeah,
wow.
I really am the new guy.
Yeah. Bill's the he's the stable emotion.
He's
emotionality.
the level-headed one.
The level-headed but terrific musician, just fit right in.
He's very even keel, unlike the rest of us.
Well, I'm going to ask a question that I'm sure a lot of these younger bands would love to ask of you. What is some advice that you can give to, the new kids on the block in the local music scene here in Tempe?
To stay in it as a band, or to make it as a band, or what's
Anything that comes to your mind.
Well,
Bernie?
as a group, compromise. As members, to compromise with each other's
It's like
feelings.
being married to 4
Yeah.
different people,
To compromise with what other people, if someone has a busy schedule and they have to travel, and they can't make it 2 weeks in a row, you don't break up a band for that. Life goes on. And
That's something I've seen time and time again.
Right. Jim might have different music next month, and we have to express what he wants to write, or whatever. So it's just compromise for each individual person as the whole band. Because grass isn't always greener on the other side. We know each other. Well said.
That's very well said. Jim, your vocals are very rich. They're very rich. I dare I say haunting. Are you a professionally trained vocalist?
My mother was an opera singer, actually.
Wow, ding 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 ding. I can see where that would be an influence in your life.
I mean, it wasn't a huge influence actually, but you know, I had access to books and had her there as well. And so I learned, you know, breathing techniques for singing, and I think that's key, really.
Definitely.
To having great vocals is the ability to know when to breathe.
Have you noticed your voice change, evolve over the years?
Yeah, it's gotten much stronger as I've gotten older.
That's great.
And
I've watched that firsthand.
I think it's amazing still. It's a lot of people lose their voice. It's amazing how his voice can still sing all the songs on the CD.
Actually, you've gotten so
Right?
strong,
So-
you know, compared to the old days. I got
used to-
nothing bad to say.
we were gigging out a lot in the early days, like 3-4 times a week, and
Puts a strain.
it puts a lot of strain on your vocals. And I was always getting sick, and I was almost becoming like paranoid about getting sick all the time, because we always had these gigs that we had to play, and
in your 20s.
so it was a lot of stress on my vocals at that time, you know.
Yeah. Well, and this is completely off topic, you guys, but David, you've been a very vocal opponent of Donald Trump on social media.
Oh boy.
Are we going to have to catch the next Phosphenes show in Canada if he wins?
No, I'm proud to be an American. I'll stay right here, you know. The universe tends to unfold as it should.
Yeah,
So,
good answer.
Oh, that's funny.
Good answer.
I think the clown show is going to crash pretty soon.
I sincerely hope he doesn't win, but
I don't think you can insult Muslims, blacks, how many other women, and be elected president.
Thank you. Thank you. AzMusic.org. We're about politics too.
I just voted for Bernie Sanders.
There you go. We're
There
even
it is.
about endorsements here.
Yeah.
go.
He may
Bernie
not beat
Sanders.
Hillary, but I'm going to give him my best shot.
Right on. Speaking of Canada, plans for touring. What do you guys think about getting out there on the road?
Eventually, we're writing new material right now, some of the best stuff that we've ever written, and working on some additional covers as well.
We want to conquer Tempe first, Arizona, you know,
Yep.
and then see where that goes from. Like I said, we're all busy too with other jobs and stuff, and
Definitely.
we're not like we're in our 20s thinking that we're gonna make it, or 30s. Again, we do this for ourselves. If that comes, so be it. Great. But you know, we're not going to quit our day jobs or whatever just
We don't
to
anticipate
go out on the
anything.
road. So if it comes to us, and you know, we
Keep
can't
our expectations
stop.
Low.
You know,
They
then
don't get
great.
disappointed.
But you know, we're realists too.
Yeah. And well, you had mentioned working on new material. So is there plans for a new studio album?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say so, yeah.
Yes.
And we're actually kind of working on that as we speak.
And you know, Peace and Open Minds. Is that your opus as of now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
we love
written
it.
probably a good album's worth since then.
More than
I'm
more.
saying album, but you know, a new recording. Because
We love that album, and we still continue to play the songs off it. A funny story, you know, where you saw us at Tempe Tavern, there's a bar owner there named Rob, and he used to own Etzel's Attic in Tempe.
Yeah.
You know, and
We know Rob very well.
Okay, so we're one of his favorite bands. I'll say that on camera. We're one of his favorite bands, and he heard our music, and he couldn't believe that, you know, we're back together, and you know, wanted us to come and play at his club. And he suggests us to play songs off that album all the time when we're playing his club.
Well, that brings me to my next question. Has there ever been a break of Phosphenes or a break up?
Yep.
There's been different members.
Yes.
There's been different members come and go, but we've always kind of brought it back a little bit and played for a little bit, and then Jim would get a job or do something, and he would go off. But we'd go on, but not really go on. I mean, how to explain
Yeah.
that?
We continued playing the songs, even though Jim might not be in the band, or we had a different bass player. You know, Bernie and I continued playing the songs through the core, but Jim's been in and out, you know, but
Several times.
Yeah, several times.
I've been in
Over
other
20 years.
projects and
Over 20 years.
I started my own consulting business in 2007 or 2010.
Okay.
And I left at that point for several years, and recently I'd come back to the project about maybe 3 years ago, and I had been writing a bunch of material at home that I wanted to work out, so I contacted David, and we started working through some of the material, and then Bernie came in.
Well, that's great to hear that, you know, there's maybe breaks, but never a breakup due to any discord within the group and things like
We've had our
that.
differences, you know, and over the years, and like Bernie
Thank you
was
for
saying,
your candor.
life gets in the way sometimes, and
Well, you can't put 4 people in a small room and rehearse 10 hours a week without getting on each other's nerves
Yeah.
from time to time. And the key is not letting that get in the way of the goal, which is to make good music.
And I think that's so great for these younger bands to hear. Yeah, thank you for that. Coming back to the songwriting, it's very introspective. It's filled with social commentary, but yet at the same time, it's fun. You know, you are the main songwriter, Jim.
Generally, what happens is he will come up with a guitar part or a section
Melody line,
and melody line. Then David, in practice, we all work it out in practice. David will come up with a bridge or a guitar part hook that goes with it very well, and then me and Bill will arrange it in a way that how many verses, how many choruses, and come up with cool parts and stops and different things like that. And that's pretty much how it goes.
Are you guys trained musicians or self-taught?
I'm self-taught, and actually it drives these guys crazy because I play the guitar weird. My fingering.
Define
Yeah,
weird.
It's just the way he figures.
Yeah.
He frets.
Because I
The
taught
3 of
myself
us
how
are
to play
guitar players. I play bass in this band, but we're all guitar players. And when you look at his hands, it's like, what is he playing?
What is that?
I took drum lessons for a few years,
Okay.
but other than that, mostly self-taught. David went to school.
Classically trained.
I went to ASU, School of Music.
I had a lot of training over the years.
It took me 6 years to get my 4-year degree.
Sun Devil. Fellow Sun Devil.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we bleed maroon and gold over here.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, I noticed that you guys do mix in some very well thought out, well executed covers. How do you pick what covers that you're going to play?
I think that's the most difficult part of our, because we all have different influences and different covers we want to play. And, unlike our originals, we love everything that Jim and David and we all come up with originally. But when it comes to covers, we all have different agreement, different choices. But we just choose it. If someone can't play it, or they're having a hard time with it, or we don't feel that it works for the band, we don't do it. But to come up with it, we all, we just get in a little meeting and talk about it. That's how we pick it. But
what if a bar owner called you up and was like, I want you guys to play, but I want you to do all covers? What would you tell him?
that's funny.
Probably we don't have enough of that material, depending on how long they would want us to play for at this point. That's why we are working on like another set worth of covers so that we could.
So you wouldn't have a problem doing that?
I don't necessarily think so. It's not a gig we've ever done, actually, a all cover set.
We did the New Year's Eve party.
Oh, well. Yeah.
And that was
But we
mostly
played a lot of
that
our
was
songs.
mostly
We
covers.
played a lot of
Yeah.
Phosphenes though.
Yeah, at a recent New Year's party we just did, but we probably have about maybe 24 cover songs that we know all
About
together.
about
Yeah, but
40 songs.
but we're good musicians,
40
so
50
we
songs
could-
that we can do as a band.
We could throw a few together.
We can
Yeah.
throw a few together
tonight.
right away.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yep.
Why are you offering us a gig?
So how has your sound evolved since, the inception of Phosphenes? When was the year that you started?
91.
91.
91.
So from 91 to 2016, how has your sound evolved?
I don't think too much. I mean, I think we've stayed to the core of what we've done. We haven't added keyboards. We don't add sampling. We don't add, we stay to the root of everything, and it's still the same way we wrote in the early 90s is the same way we're writing right now. So I don't know if that's the correct or right answer, but it's the true answer.
Yeah.
We've stayed true to what we've done. We haven't tried to do all the sampling and adding and extra percussion or double bass or keys or other instruments. So.
But the thing that's changed over the years is all these other musical influences that have come
Correct.
in. Over the years, I listen to a lot of modern music, and so like the stuff that I'm writing now is being influenced by the stuff that I'm listening to.
What's one of your favorite modern bands off the top of your head?
Like 21 Pilots, I'm loving them. I mean, they're just writing such creative and different material. Like one song's like this, it's like a rap song, and then
we're
you got
fans
this
over here of theirs.
Foo Fighters.
Definitely.
Foo Fighters for me.
Definitely.
And that's a band that's really
definitely.
like evolved and developed over the years too.
Yeah.
I really like how their songs have evolved.
Because there's a lot of music out
Because
there.
I used to think that
like.
Foo Fighters weren't that great live. That his vocals weren't really that strong in the beginning of the Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
But he is like so matured vocally himself, and just the songs that they're writing together. They did that whole thing where they went around to recording studios all over the country, and they would record
Sonic Highways.
Sonic Highways,
It was
yeah.
awesome.
It was on HBO or something.
it was
Showtime.
awesome.
Yeah.
There's actually a Lost Nirvana song that I was listening to the other night where Dave was the lead vocalist on, and it was pretty awesome. You should
do
check
a
it
Nirvana
out.
song.
Yeah,
You would.
All apologies.
apologies.
Yeah.
right on.
It took us a while to get it though.
Dave's
I don't like it.
vocals were very big thing in Nirvana.
Yeah,
I mean, the way they harmonized together,
definitely.
amazing.
And you had mentioned, Bernie, me catching you guys at Tempe Tavern. What are some of the local venues that we can catch you at, and what are some of your favorites to play?
Definitely Cactus Jacks.
Cactus Jacks,
It's a
yeah.
nice
In
big
Awatuki?
stage. Yeah, good sound system out there.
And we like doing the events. We just did a big event in Scottsdale,
Crush
the
Brew Festival.
Oh yeah,
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Playing outside and stuff like that.
definitely got some younger fans there.
Yeah, it was really neat. It was nice. But, we're looking always for new places to play, something different to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
We don't want to play Tempe Tavern every week.
And
every month.
we're a pretty tight band after 20 odd years,
Mm-hmm.
and we definitely want to play some better venues.
Wants us to play, but I'm just saying that we want to venture out and do something different.
Yeah. So what's up next for the Phosphenes?
Writing.
Recording and writing.
Yeah, that's what we're primarily focused on right now, just getting new material put
And-
together and new cover songs so that we can go
More
out and
cover
get some of
songs.
these gigs.
More
Yeah.
cover songs. Yeah, just and writing, just so that if somebody ever asks us that question, would we play an all cover? Sure, why not? It just depends upon which venue we're at. Is it going to be 80% covers and 20% originals, or is it going to be reversed at a cool club?
There's a bar tab included with the gig. I'll be negotiating
When you play
that.
more covers, you get more money. It's usually a more money thing. But again, it's not the only reason we're playing.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's kind of selling your creative soul out.
No,
Playing
and-
cover
No,
gigs.
no, I enjoy playing other songs.
Could be like the
sometimes.
Boogie Nights making
When you guys
$3,000
play,
a
the
night.
passion can definitely be heard. And so I really appreciate you guys joining us here at AzMusic.org.
Thank you.
Definitely be on the lookout for Phosphenes. Thanks for joining us. I'm Vanessa Joy, AzMusic.org.
Thank you.